So it's time to talk about the game as they try to increase that winning streak to 3 come Sunday. The Texans are coming to town at only 1-2. Not a great team. Buffalo at this point a 17-point favorite. And joining us now is Vic Carucci, our Channel 2 Bills insider. You can catch him weekly on Sports Talk Live Monday nights and also hear him on Sirius XM Radio. Vic, it's always good to have you on. Thanks.
It's a pleasure, Michael.
All right, so let's be honest here. You look at the spread here and the predictions. Bills expected to win this one easily, right? The Texans aren't exactly the cream of the crop right now. And it seems like a lot of people are looking already toward the following weekend and that Sunday night game at Kansas City, the primetime audience. I wonder if that's a risk and if you worry that the Bills could also get caught looking ahead.
Well, of course, you're familiar with the term everybody is, the trap game, right? And this has a feel like that. And the Bills have been guilty in the past of actually looking past an opponent that came up before they faced the Chiefs. I don't think it's going to be a problem this time. I do think they're dialed in and focused. I think the way they started the season had a lot to do with it. Losing a game they were expected to win against Pittsburgh was a reality check and showed them about the need to be focused. I think Sean McDermott excels at that generally. And this is an AFC opponent. They may be a weak opponent, but AFC wins are critical in the whole pursuit of entering the playoffs and having home games.
Yeah, you want that home field advantage, no doubt. Josh Allen last week looked a lot more like Josh Allen that we were used to seeing last season. He had a rough start, sort of, for the first couple of games. Do you believe those concerns are now put to rest with what he did last week?
I do. I think it's been a matter of him finding his way and needing the extra time to do that. Look, the preseason is so limited, not just the fact that they've cut it down to 3 games, and in his case, only playing 1. Training camp, very limited in the amount of work players are able to do. So collectively as a team, I think the timing and rhythm has been found during the course of this extended preseason, even though these games count, especially with a guy like Emmanuel Sanders, a new receiver, a guy that he is learning in terms of it, and Sanders is learning Allen, and you see the chemistry building there. And it applies to the incumbent players as well. But I do think Josh puts in the work. The questions about this contract affecting him and making him less dedicated or something because he got his big extension contract. No, I don't think that's a factor whatsoever.
The Texans' new head coach, David Culley, was the Bills' quarterbacks coach during Josh's rookie year back in 2018. Kind of an interesting twist to this game. Any reason to think that that could benefit Houston in some way?
It's interesting because, of course, David Culley worked with Allen in Allen's formative season, right, in 2018, and I think got to know him pretty well. And as a football coach, certainly studied what Josh's strengths and weaknesses were or are, but you could say that most of that is in the past because we are talking about his rookie year, and I think there was a lot of transitioning, learning for Josh. I think bad habits that he had then have been put aside, most of them, and I think Culley certainly knows what Allen was made of and could get to know him in the course of one season. But the evolution of Allen over the course of those following 3 years, or 2 years, I should say, 19 and 20, and what he is now, I think kind of minimizes what that is. But I wouldn't discount David Culley having maybe a little bit of sense of something that maybe even Josh doesn't know about himself that Culley could have recognized.
Finally, Vic, before we run out of time, you almost have to feel sorry for Texans quarterback David Mills, a rookie making just his second start. The expectation has to be that the Bills defense is going to have a good game come Sunday. Yeah,
look, it's just the inexperience factor, number one. And then number two, just coming into that stadium. We saw for Taylor Heineke how difficult it was in what was his first road start, even though he had 7 years of experience, but very limited action in games. And I think Mills runs into a very similar circumstance of a rude awakening of what that crowd will bring and what the whole disruption of this Bills defense will bring, especially. That pass rush is playing at its finest, I think, in a long time. And, there's a key injury on the back end. Jordan Poyer going to miss this game, and I think that could take something away, but not enough, in my view, to alter the dominance of what the Bills defense has been.
If it's Friday, it's Vic Carucci on the town hall setting us up for Sunday's game. Thanks so much, Vic. Good to see you.
My pleasure, Mike, always.
All right, and that's going to do it for our town hall for today and for this week. Hope you have a great weekend. Go Bills, and stay right there. Channel 2 News at 6 is up next.